they're state funded. And you listen to the news once in the last 3 years, budgets are tight, everybody's struggling, nobody's getting anything, no raises, etc., etc., etc. Last thing they're going to do is offer more free money to get people to come to school. They're not going to help pay people to go to school necessarily, are they? But now you look at Emory, it costs $56,000. Whether you live next door, whether you live in Washington State, whether you live in China, it's $56,000. But we also have a lot of need-based aid to help offset that cost for many families that are eligible. Completely aside from merit money. Regardless of your grades, if you get in and your parents and yourself demonstrate the financial need through some forms I'm going to talk about, there is a possibility that you could be eligible for $10, $12, $20, $38, $42, $51,000 in gift aid, free grant dollars from the institution and the government and a combination of the state, all to help make that education more affordable. Okay? Families that have an income of about $50,000 would have an expected family contribution, or what's known as an EFC, of roughly $5,000. Okay? $5,000 minus $56,000 is what? $51,000? Subtract off the student's federal loan eligibility of about $5,000. Now you're down to $46,000, right? Let's say we get a little more funny math going on and another $1,000 gets eked away out of there. Next thing you know, $45,000 in grant money. That's how a school like Emory and like Vanderbilt and Duke and Davidson and Elon, that's how we figure aid. So that family, looking at it, getting $45,000 in grant money, plus loans, plus maybe a little other loan. I mean, you've taken that education of 56 and cut it down to an out-of-pocket expense of roughly, maybe $10,000. Remember how much UGA was? $20,000 in-state. But then let's say you get the Hope Scholarship for a year. Then you fall on hard times. Freshman year, it's always kind of rough for some students to hold a 3-point-something GPA. So you lose hope. In the business, you become hopeless. You can regain it, but then that next year you may be staring at what was just room and board of $12,000. Now all of a sudden you may be staring at $20,000. That's not to scare you, and not to scare you away from applying to UGA and places like that. But understand that the possibility at some private institutions could ultimately offset costs more than some state schools. Because historically, state schools have been, that's the more affordable avenue, it's the best route for us, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, not all the time, Is a Lexus really better than a Toyota? Not until you have to go get it repaired. It's the maintenance, it's the other stuff you have to take into account. Now, if you go to a school that's 4 states away, it's going to cost a little bit more to travel, yeah. But parents and students, there's also another experience to be gained. 4 states away, you end up in Iowa, a little different than Georgia. All right? But there's a lot of great schools there, and it could offer you a new experience, students, and you'll also be offering a new experience to other people too. All right? So need-based aid, it's based around a couple of different factors. The FAFSA, the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It's a government form. It's easy to fill out. It's getting easier and easier every year. Parents, if you ever remember filling this out, it was on paper. It was about 7 pages long. When you pulled it out, it all just fell down. Like, well, I won't go there on that. But it just fell down. And oh my gosh, you fill it out, and you send it in 8 weeks later, you find out that it got lost in the mail. And then you got to redo it again. Now, not so much anymore. It's all online. It uses skip logic. You answer a question, it tells you the next question to answer. You answer a question one way, next thing you know, 20 questions just disappeared. All right? So it's easy. Don't get fooled by it. Just do it. And you do that usually in January, February, your student's senior year. Now, for those private schools, They will tell you in these brochures, they'll tell you on the financial aid websites, they'll tell you in the financial aid brochures. There's also an additional form that's usually required. It's called the CSS profile. It's offered through the College Board. They're the ones that do the AP exams, the SATs, ACTs, etc., etc. You've already paid them oodles and oodles of money. You're going to pay them again for this form, but this form is what can translate into that $45,000 package here at Emory. Okay? Not doing the form is bad. You don't do the form, you're not applying for aid, you don't complete the application for aid, we don't do anything to help out, unfortunately. Okay? Tax information, you got to get that early, you got to get it done early, do it early. And it'll even make the FAFSA even easier. You do your taxes early in February. I know that's really early, but do it early, turn them in electronically. Within a week or two, you can do what's called IRS data retrieval now, where you just click a button and say, yes, I filed my taxes. Yes, I want to do IRS data retrieval. And boom, next thing you know, the FAFSA is filled out. It just pulls all the information from the IRS and sucks it right into the FAFSA. Boom, you're basically done. How easy is that? The feds tell me it's so easy. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll believe them this one time that it's going to be easy. It will be, I think. I think it's going to be a great way to get it done faster and easier. But it means filing your tax early. The biggest mistake families make, you apply to 8 to 9 schools, 6 of them require the CSS profile at a cost of $16 a school. You know, that's a hefty price when you have, 7 or 8 times 16. I mean, that's expensive. The one problem, though, will be that families will say, let's wait to see if you're admitted. Let's not spend the $16 to get it in now. Let's wait to see if you're admitted, then we'll give it in, then we'll get our financial aid award. Okay? Wrong. Schools that are offering or asking for that CSS profile and are offering need-based gift aid need that stuff. Because little do you know that when you turn your application in December, we're not releasing admission decisions till April 1. We're not reading all of those decisions on March 30th and making all the decisions. We read applications kind of as they come in and we hold them. And then the financial aid office knows that, oh, they've admitted this kid, they've admitted this kid. We'll go in and review your stuff, make your package so it's waiting. So April 1 when we release, boom, your admission letter's released, boom, your aid for it is right there with it. Boom, you have 1 month to make up your mind about where's the best school to go to college. Where's the best place to go academically and financially. Okay? If you wait till April 1 to get your admit letter, yay, we're admitted! April 2, you call my office and say, how do we apply for financial aid? I say, you're 3 months too late. You can get all your stuff in. It's going to take a couple weeks to process, but I'll honestly say you are at the bottom of the pile now. We're still going to try to get your money to you. We're still going to do what we can. But now you've put us in a very tough situation. Because you've got to make a decision where you've got to go to school by May 1. It's April 2nd, and you haven't even filled out the forms yet. And that's going to take you a couple days. Then you're going to spend, that's going to take a couple days to go through them. Then it's going to take a couple days to get to us. Boom, we're now at April 12th. Then you realize, oh wait, I got to submit these additional forms to you. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Now we're at April 22. All while you're calling and emailing, can I get my package, can I get my package? I say, no, 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 because you haven't got your stuff in yet. Finally, April 28th. All that stuff shows up. And we've run out of money. Yes, we got all your stuff. No, we can't bring your package together. We don't have any money left. Oh, what am I supposed to do now? I said, you should have applied in March. Should have. We sent you letters. The admission office even encouraged it. The brochure said it. You've been warned. Alright? And we really do try. And we can make it happen sometimes. But more schools with need-based aid, because more and more families are trying to go and they're getting in, and with budgets the way they are, they're holding tighter to these deadlines, saying if you really wanted it, if you really needed it, you really have to try to meet us somewhere in the middle. We're flexible, we can be accommodating. We know special circumstances, we know unusual situations, but still, making the effort and doing it as best you can will be in your best interest. Because if you put me in a bad spot, the unfortunate reality is you put me in a bad spot,